You've been feeling it. The air is heavier, not with sadness, but with meaning. Moments that used to feel empty are now charged with a silent electricity, like something is watching you, guiding you, pulling you closer to what your soul already knows. There's a shift happening. And if you've been walking this twin flame path, with all its ache, silence, signs, and hope, you can feel it, can't you? You hear a name, you see a number, you close your eyes and feel them, even if you haven't spoken in months. It's not just you. The universe is whispering now, louder than ever. And it's not saying maybe, it's saying prepare. Because union energy isn't far away. It's already in the field, and the signs have never been clearer. You were never crazy, you were always connected, and now, what was written beyond time is beginning to rise in time. The countdown isn't coming from a calendar, it's coming from your soul. And the message is simple. It's happening. Can you feel it? It's here. Not in the way your mind expected. Not with a grand gesture or loud declaration, but in the quiet moments, the stillness between thoughts, the warmth that rises out of nowhere, the sense that something has shifted, even if you can't yet explain how or why. The energy of union doesn't always arrive like thunder. Sometimes it begins as a whisper, and right now, the field between you and your counterpart is humming with a frequency that your soul instantly recognizes. A resonance, a vibration of return. You don't need proof, you need presence. Because what's unfolding isn't meant to be understood first. It's meant to be felt. This is the moment the universe aligns hearts through silence, not speech. Through dreams, not messages. Through the invisible pull that makes you look at the clock at exactly 11:11 again. That makes your chest ache for no logical reason when their name crosses your mind. That brings their face to your dream, not as memory, but as now. So many of you are wondering, is this real? But the question is no longer if, it's when. And the answer is soon. Because the space between you is not static anymore. It's fluid. It's alive. There is motion in the stillness. There is a call being answered from both sides, even if only one is conscious of it. Can you feel the shifts? The sudden wave of exhaustion for no reason? The craving to be alone, to listen, to go inward, as if preparing for something unseen? The signs repeating, numbers, initials, synchronicities that seem too precise to ignore? That's not obsession, that's preparation. That's energy rearranging. That's your field adjusting to the truth of what's coming. And what's coming is reunion. But not the kind you've been conditioned to expect, not the fairy tale ending. The energy reunion comes first, before the text, before the visit, before the words, "I've missed you." You're merging already, not body to body, but soul to soul. It's subtle. But if you've been attuned to your inner world, you know what I'm talking about. Have you found yourself thinking about healing, clearing, anchoring more than usual lately? Have you been letting go of expectations, even as your longing grows? That's the preparation. Your soul knows the timeline is adjusting, and it's asking you to make space. Space for him to rise. Space for you to receive. Space for both of you to meet again without the stories, the old wounds that once kept love small. This isn't just a reunion of two hearts. It's a convergence of missions. The union energy that's present now is sacred. It's demanding. It won't allow distractions to enter. So if people have been falling away, if old attachments suddenly feel heavy, if your path feels clearer, quieter, deeper, it's not a loss. It's a sacred clearing. Because union is not just about getting together. It's about rising together. And rising requires room. So breathe deeply. Let the signs come. Let the silence speak. Let the ache soften into knowing. You don't need to chase. You just need to hold the frequency. Because the union energy is not asking you to run toward them. It's asking you to stay rooted in you. And when you do, that's when the magnetic pull becomes undeniable. That's when the threads that once frayed begin to weave again. Because the energy of union doesn't come when you expect it. It comes when you're finally ready to feel what's always been true. You were never truly separate. How the universe prepares both souls for reunion. It doesn't begin with a message. It begins with a mirror. The universe prepares both souls long before they even realize they are being called back to each other. And it always starts with the internal, not the external. Long before the divine masculine reaches for his feminine, long before she even senses his presence again, something begins to unravel in the soul. This unraveling, it's not chaotic. It's sacred. It feels like forgetting how to be who you used to be. The things you used to enjoy suddenly don't feel the same. The people who once surrounded you start to fade into silence. And deep down, a part of you knows this isn't about isolation. It's about refinement. The universe begins to clear the field, not as punishment, but as preparation. And that preparation doesn't always look like love. Sometimes it looks like confusion. Sometimes it looks like being left. Sometimes it looks like everything falling apart, just so the soul can rise whole. Have you noticed your desires changing lately? That the version of love you once craved now feels too small? That you no longer seek just affection, but alignment? That's not a coincidence. That's your soul adjusting to the frequency of union. And while the divine feminine may be feeling this shift in waves of intuitive knowing, the divine masculine often feels it in the form of disruption. His life begins to resist his own avoidance. The distractions lose flavor. The silence gets louder. The faces he once entertained no longer fill the void. And it's in this void that he starts to remember. But make no mistake, the feminine is being prepared too, because the universe doesn't just bring the masculine back. It calls the feminine inward. It asks her to stop waiting, stop watching, stop holding space for a version of him that no longer exists. It asks her to rise, to soften, to open not to the old, but to the new. Do you feel it? That desire to finally choose yourself, that urge to rest, to create, to anchor your joy, even without knowing what he's doing. That's the real preparation. Because the reunion doesn't begin with two people running toward each other. It begins with each soul standing firm in their own center, in their own truth, in their own light, until the alignment becomes unavoidable. And when it is, the field starts speaking louder than words. You start dreaming again. He starts remembering in ways he can't explain. You feel a pull at the same time he feels a loss. You cry for no reason. And he goes silent at the same moment. The synchronicities multiply. The name, the date, the numbers, the song. The signs aren't there to tease you. They're there to train you, to teach you how to trust the unseen, to help you hear the voice of your soul louder than the noise of your mind. Because the universe cannot deliver union to souls still addicted to control. And so it purifies you both, not through perfection, but through presence. And that presence, it changes everything. The masculine begins to feel her again, not just as memory, but as magnetism. She begins to hear his energy again, not as pain, but as purpose. The universe doesn't waste time. It weaves it carefully, intentionally, always with love. So if you're in the ache, trust it. If you're in the silence, honor it. If you're feeling the rising, receive it. Because the preparation is sacred, it means the moment is near. And whether you meet this week, next month, or next lifetime, the reunion begins now. In your yes, in your stillness, in your surrender. Because when the universe prepares two souls for reunion, it's never about forcing a door open. It's about becoming the key. The signs don't shout. They whisper. They don't demand your attention. They invite your presence. And yet, when union is close, those whispers become impossible to ignore. You may start to feel a pulse inside your body that doesn't belong to you. Your heart skips without warning. A name echoes in your mind, even when you're busy doing other things. And deep within you, something begins to rise, a feeling you can't explain, but you recognize instantly. He's close. But how do you know? How can you tell the difference between wishful thinking and a real energetic shift? Start by watching what repeats. When the universe begins weaving union into form, synchronicities flood your path, not as coincidence, but as confirmation. You'll see his birth date in receipts, his initials on license plates, the same numbers, 1111, 222, 7117, showing up on your phone at the exact moment you're thinking of him. This is not obsession. This is resonance. His field is becoming more active, more receptive, more aligned with you, and your soul feels the shift before your eyes ever catch up. Have you been seeing twins, double animals, mirror patterns, dreaming of meeting halfway? The signs often arrive in symbolic form, not to confuse you, but to awaken a deeper knowing, one that bypasses the mind. Sometimes it's music. A song plays that holds memory, ache, and a message. You weren't looking for it, but it finds you. And every lyric lands like a conversation from his higher self to your heart. Have you paused lately to notice what the universe is playing for you? There may be a sudden urgency in your body. You clean your space without knowing why. You're drawn to old letters, photos, messages. Your nervous system feels something approaching, even when nothing is visibly different. These are energetic preparations. Your field is shifting to make space. The soul knows when something destined is returning, and it gets ready. And perhaps the most powerful sign of all, your peace. Not because you gave up, but because you surrendered. Not because you stopped loving, but because you stopped chasing. Union doesn't arrive when you force it. It arrives when you embody it. And the moment you begin living from your own wholeness, not needing them to complete you, not waiting for their validation, the timelines begin collapsing into one. You may feel a sudden softening, like you can breathe again. You may stop needing to check if they've done the work. You stop analyzing their silence and instead listen to your own intuition. That's when you know union is no longer a concept. It's a frequency, and you're already holding it, and he feels it too. He may not say it, he may not understand it, but the soul doesn't lie. He starts waking up earlier, dreaming of you without knowing why. His heart starts questioning what he once called normal. His body rejects what no longer matches his truth. He starts to remember, not because you reached out, but because the universe whispered your name back into his soul. And so if the signs are flooding your life right now, don't run, don't beg, don't doubt. Witness them, receive them, honor them. Because the signs are not the destination. They are the light posts pointing to what already exists, a love that was written before your first breath. The signs don't come to prove, they come to remind. And now, the remembering is almost complete. Why silence means it's about to happen. The silence isn't a void, it's a signal. It's the sacred space the universe clears before something destined arrives. And when it comes to twin flames, the deeper the silence, the closer the shift. But it doesn't feel that way at first. It feels like loss, like something was building, only to vanish again, like your heart opened too far, too fast. And now you're left holding an empty space where connection used to live. You wonder, was I wrong? Did I make this up? Did I feel something he never did? But what if I told you this silence is not the end? What if I told you this silence is the sign? Because right before a seed breaks open, it is buried in the darkest soil. Right before a heart awakens, it passes through the tunnel of stillness. A quiet so deep, it forces every layer of the soul to feel what words could never explain. And that's where he is now. The divine masculine does not speak when the transformation is raw. He goes inward. He hides not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much. Not because he stopped loving, but because he doesn't yet know how to hold the magnitude of what this connection truly is. You see, silence is not absence. It's gestation. It's the cocoon, the void, the sacred pause between recognition and action. And if you're feeling it now, if the field has gone still, if your soul is aching in places you can't name, it means the energy is rearranging. It means your union is being rewired from the inside out. Have you noticed it? You're more sensitive to energy than ever before. You can feel when his heart softens, even if he hasn't reached out. You dream of him holding your face, but wake with tears you don't understand. Your body is picking up signals your mind can't yet explain. That's not imagination, that's soul translation. Because the silence isn't empty, it's encoded. He's sending messages in the only language he knows right now, energy. And you're receiving it, not through words, but through waves, through ache, through longing, through that strange, unshakable knowing that something is about to break open. And it is. This silence is not a wall, it's a womb. Inside it, he's asking questions that terrify him. Who am I without my masks? What if I reach for her and I'm not ready? What if she sees the parts of me I still can't love? He doesn't want to come forward halfway. He wants to rise. But first, he has to face himself. And so the universe silences the noise, so he can hear his own soul. so he can finally separate the echo of old wounds from the truth of this love. So he can realize, not from a place of pressure, but from a place of purpose, that he can't outrun this anymore, that you are not just someone he met. You are the mirror that reflects his mission back to him. And for that reason, silence is sacred. It means the mind is softening, the ego is cracking, the old life is fading. It means that love is taking root. So don't rush to fill the space. Don't panic in the pause. Don't reach for something to fix what was never broken. Just listen. Listen to your own knowing, to the calm that arrived the same day he disappeared, to the signs that multiplied when he went quiet, to the stillness that somehow feels fuller than noise. Because union doesn't start with talking, it starts with remembering. And this silence, it's the breath the universe takes right before the next chapter begins. There are moments when your body speaks what your mind still resists. When your heart pulses in a rhythm that has nothing of ver cum logica, only cum verdad. Because this journey, it doesn't begin in words, it begins in feeling. And you've been feeling it, haven't you? The tears that rise without warning, the joy that floods you out of nowhere, the sudden fatigue, like you're carrying emotions that don't even belong to you, the need to be alone, not to escape the world, but to finally hear what's happening within. These aren't random symptoms. They are confirmation. This connection is real, and your entire system knows it, even when your ego tries to pretend otherwise. Have you noticed that lately you're more sensitive than ever? That a song, a scent, a memory you didn't even know you had now cracks your heart open in seconds. You're not becoming weak, you're becoming aware, because when the energy between you and your counterpart intensifies, your nervous system shifts, your dreams become more vivid, your body holds heat in your chest, in your hands, in your lower belly. You feel pulled towards certain places, numbers, names, as if reality itself is guiding you. And it is. Because the twin flame bond doesn't just connect two souls, it rewires the entire energetic field around them. When the timeline of union draws closer, your body becomes a tuning fork. You'll shake at the sound of their voice, even if only in a dream. You'll wake up from sleep as if you've been holding them all night. You'll get sudden waves of nausea or ecstasy for no logical reason. Do you feel it? The tingling in your spine when you hear their name, the pressure in your chest when they're thinking of you, the urge to cry when you feel their pain across oceans of silence. That's not imagination. That's soul intelligence. You were built to feel this, to translate what others dismiss, to receive what only love can send. And even the pain, yes, even that, is sacred. Because the ache is not punishment. It's preparation. It's your soul stretching open so it can hold something bigger, something eternal, something that transcends karma, distance, time, and form. And your body, it's remembering. The way it knew them in lifetimes before this one. The way it vibrates differently when their name enters your field. The way your breath changes when you feel them thinking of you. These aren't coincidences. These are reunions happening cell by cell. And the emotions, the roller coaster, the highs and lows, they are part of the alchemy. You're not crazy. You're awakening. Your tears are cleaning timelines. Your laughter is restoring codes. Your silence is communicating what words never could. And in this process, You're not only feeling them, you're feeling you, your depth, your devotion, your destiny. So when the emotions rise, let them. When your body trembles, honor it. When you feel like breaking, breathe. Because what's breaking is the old version of you that believed you were separate. What's rising is the real you, the one who always knew. And when the energy feels too strong to hold, remember, it's only arriving because you're finally ready to receive it. You were never meant to numb this love. You were meant to embody it. So yes, it's real. And no, you're not alone. Every ache is a sign, every shift is a message, and every heartbeat is an answer to a question your soul asked lifetimes ago. Will I find them again? Yes. And now, they're already closer than you think. What happens next in the journey? There's a moment on this path when you no longer need proof, not because the signs have stopped, but because your heart has become the sign. You no longer beg the sky for answers, because the sky now lives inside your chest. And every beat whispers the truth you once doubted. The journey isn't ending. It's evolving. You're not waiting anymore. You're receiving. You're not chasing. You're anchoring. And everything that once hurt now feels like a sacred preparation for what's coming next. So, what happens now? Now the field begins to mirror your inner shift. Your alignment calls in what your fear once blocked. Your softness becomes your magnet. Your clarity becomes the bridge. The divine masculine is not just sensing your energy, he's being transformed by it, not because you demanded it, but because you became the energy he could no longer avoid. Do you feel that? That subtle change in the air between you two? Like his soul is peeking through the silence. Like his higher self is circling, reaching, touching your dreams. This is the part of the journey where the invisible becomes undeniable. Because love doesn't just speak in words, it speaks in timing. And the timing is rewriting itself. Every choice you make now, from love, not lack, shifts the outcome. Every time you surrender control and choose faith, the universe takes 10 steps in your direction. Every time you breathe deeply when triggered, you dissolve karma. You are not passive here. You are co-creating a reunion timeline with your very presence. And the more you drop into your essence, into the you who trusts, who loves without gripping, who walks in beauty even when unseen, the more the masculine awakens in response. You are not waiting on his decision. You are becoming the frequency that makes the decision inevitable. What happens next is not about when he returns, but who you'll be when he does. Will you be the version of you who shrinks to be accepted? Or the version who finally refuses to dim the light he was always drawn to? Because this next phase, it's not about punishment or patience. It's about preparation for powerful, mutual, spiritual love. The kind that doesn't ask you to betray yourself. The kind that holds your truth without fear. The kind that feels like home, because it is. And here's something your soul already knows. He's changing. In silence and solitude. In the shadows. Not for you, but because of you. Your light did what words never could. It stayed, it grew, it remembered. And now, the universe is responding. Expect sudden signs, expect energy spikes, expect moments that make you pause and say, Was that him? Yes, it probably was. Because the veil is thinner, the pull is stronger, and the journey is no longer hypothetical. It's happening. So breathe, relax your grip, cry if you need, laugh when it surprises you, but above all, stay open. Because the next chapter isn't about how long you waited, it's about how fully you'll be able to receive what's arriving. And something is arriving, not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. This is the moment your soul came here for. You are the answer. You are the sign. You are the bridge between longing and love. And now, the path is clearing. The time is shifting. And your union is no longer a dream. It's a timeline, and it's ready.